Yeah, so anyway, I'm unusual because I'm spiritually minded, but I'm also scientifically minded. And people think that's two edges of, or two ends of an incompatible um, dichotomy, or something with two ends. You've got black and white. You've got spirituality on one side, and you've got scientific on the other. But I've made it my adult life's hobby to study these things, and I've come up with some really interesting results. And I believe that everyone else can get these or similar results if they really apply themselves. And basically, what I'd like to say is I used to run a group for the law of attraction back in 2006, and that was the year that the book The Secret came out, and everybody was raving on about The Secret. It was the top of the bestseller lists, and it was the Vogue book and topic at the time. And typically, there's a lot of materialistic people that will just basically try and dismiss of these sorts of things. But of course, they're like the most of the rest of us that do believe in it. We don't test it out, and we should test it out. I tested it out, and you go from believing in something to actually knowing something, which is a big difference. So, basically, what I did with my group is I decided that I'd do my own little test, and I just picked, of all things, I just picked blue balloons, because I thought, well, I'll pick balloons and I'll have to pick a color, and then for the next few months, you have to keep repeating it for yourself in your spare time, like you know. You might be waiting in a queue somewhere, or you might be waiting in a waiting room somewhere, and you get lots of spare time during the day, and even when you're going to sleep, you can be doing it. So it depends on how enthusiastic you are, because this is one of your major spiritual growth uh, lessons that you're going to learn in your life. That's what I believe, and that's why it's important. You know, so basically, what I did, to cut a very long story short, I was focusing on that, and I just kept saying blue balloon, and you also got to visualize it, and you got to visualize it with emotion, because it's all about wavelengths and energy. So to cut a long story short, I attracted about four blue balloons in a matter of a month and a half or a couple of months or something like that was, and I did that because I was focusing my attention on it. And I also I'm a very accurate person. A lot of people come on YouTube and maybe exaggerate things, and there'll be plenty of clickbait. I know, I get it too, and I don't want to do that, because I'm not ego-based sort of person. I'm not really going to get a big kick out of lying to people, right? So yeah, but I'm here because I want to learn things, and I want to maybe share what I learn and help others. So anyway, one of the blue balloons, it came bouncing across the highway when I was shutting my car door one day, and another one came when I was at, of all things, an Abraham-Hicks seminar, and I was coming out for the lunch break, and there was one bouncing around outside. And obviously, as I said, I am looking out for the other colours too, and there wasn't any other colours. And there was probably another couple of blue balloons. Then I thought I'd ramp it up, and I decided, well, I haven't found any money, as in note money, not coins, on the street for about 20 years at the time. And so I thought, well, I know if I find money, then I'm really into something. So I was I was just focusing on it, focusing on it, focusing on it. Just you've got to imagine going, grabbing the money, and getting into the emotion of how you're going to feel when you do it. It's no good just thinking about this when you're tired, or your energy's low, because it won't do anything. You're wasting your time. So wait until the first thing in the morning when your energy's high, and then that's when you should do this sort of drill. So anyway, I found my first $20 note. It was in a median strip of the road I was living on, because Australian $20 notes are red, so it's quite easy to spot. So yeah, I found that, and then I found another one which was 2 meters down in the water when I was swimming at my favourite beach. So I found that as well, because they're plastic as well, so plastic banknotes. So obviously they don't disintegrate. So people could say, well, it's just because you're thinking about it, but no, it's not, because I never found any for 20 years before that, and that was a good, how long is it now? 18 years since that happened. So I haven't found. Oh, actually, I did find one or two after, but the one I did found afterwards was when I was a $10 note, but that was quite some years afterwards, actually. And I was just going to meet a really positive friend. This friend I was hanging out with at the time was a really, really positive person. And I think that really makes a big difference to it too. If you're really positive, or if they're really positive, it kind of rubs off. If you're with a really positive group of people, you're going to have better luck than if you're with a negative group of people, right? And that's another interesting point. So anyway, I found that, and then the only one other time was that the $10 note, which I just told you about, which was probably about 10 years ago now. So there was that, and then I thought, well, I'll make it really hard for myself again, and I thought, well, I'll try and attract a card, as in a playing card, and I picked the four of hearts. It could have been anything, right? But you're better off if you're doing it to pick one with a low number, because it's much easier to visualize a two of spades than it is a nine of clubs, for example, because how are you going to visualize a nine of clubs? It's difficult, right? So you just visualize, when you pick the card out of the pack and you stick it on the desk there so you know what you're trying to visualize. And then anyway, so I did that for about a month or two. It doesn't happen straight away, right? You've got to be pretty dedicated. And then I was going along the street one day, and there was a four of hearts was sitting there it was actually in the mud with some grass around it on a grass strip along the footpath. So that just blew me away when that happened, and that was my experience. And I just think it's amazing how you can do that, and no one's ever going to take that away from me, because I've had that experience now, and I know that this law of attraction thing is not just a figment of the imagination, because I'm no good with beliefs. I have to have proof, and that's really fantastic proof. So I hope you try it. I actually also gave out cards to other people in the group that I was running, and there was 5 other people that did it as well. And one of those people was someone that was completely unspiritual, didn't really know anything about this sort of thing. And I gave her a card, and I said, hey, there you go. Well, just keep thinking about this card and that. And then one day, I remember she rang me, and she said, she was just completely, she just completely blew her mind, because what happened is she was I think as the story went, that she was in a hotel room at the time, and someone wanted a cigarette lighter, and she was hunting around for one. So she was opening the drawers, and of all things, she found that exact card inside one of the drawers, and no other cards. I remember questioning her about it. And that to me is a fantastic thing, because she probably wouldn't have even tried mocking it up that much, because she wasn't spiritually minded, right? So there's all these things, amazing things out there, and of all, you could buy the best car in the world, you could have the best house in the world, and you're still going to be one of those people that still believes that all there is a physical universe. But there isn't, because it's more to it than that, and having that experience is worth, to me, it's worth millions of dollars, because it's a universal truth, it goes beyond everything like that. But a lot of people dismiss what I'm saying as, oh, it's not really that important, it's trivial, and I'll probably get around to it one day, and you probably never will. But anyway, that's up to you. But I'm just saying, in my world, that is a very, very important thing that you're going to learn about life. So I'd like to leave you with that, and look forward to your comments. Okay, bye.